Hello and welcome to this tutorial on installing Cisco Unified Communications Manager Express. That's a long name, isn't it? Well, it used to be called Cisco Call Manager Express, but they've changed the name to that new 15-syllable name, but I guess it's used interchangeably. But at any rate, I am studying for the CCNA Voice exam, and I haven't taken the test yet, but I've had a lot of fun going through the material. I plan on taking it November 11, 2009, so I'm not an expert or anything, but I just wanted to show you how to install and get all the license files and all that fun stuff in case you want to set up a lab at home or just want general knowledge on this topic. So to begin, let's discuss the three licenses that you're going to need to make this operational. The first one is the iOS license, and that is the license that you get when you purchase the software for the iOS image that supports CME. That's kind of the core functionality of the CME itself, which is run in the iOS that supports it. You then have the feature license, which allows you to have a specific number of phones that you can use between the call manager and the phone itself. The feature license you can buy in different packs, and you can get them from Cisco. You then have the phone user license, and that comes with the phone when you purchase the phone, which covers the phone and the software that's on the phone. And so between the three, you can have a legally set up Call Manager Express solution. And the way I try to remember it is the iOS feature license would be, say, like a store, and the phone user license is your car, and you need to drive to the store. And the feature license is the road. So you need all three of them to have a successful CME configuration. Okay, I've brought up the Cisco website, and I will briefly show you where to get the iOS that supports CME and also some additional files that you can use with the Call Manager Express. So to begin, we'll just go to Support and choose Download Software. And then I usually go to Tools and Resources. Now there may be another way to do this, but I go to Show All Tools and go down to the Feature Navigator. And once here, I click on Search by Feature. This will bring up a new window. And then I just type in CME, hit Search. And here's all the previous CME versions. And as I stated, they changed it to Communications Manager Express. So we'll choose this one, and we'll click on Continue. And then here we can choose the iOS software that we want to use. 15 is the latest. I haven't tried this one yet, but I use 12.4, and so you can select your iOS release, and then you can use the Cisco platform that you're using. And from there, this breaks down all the different software feature sets that support CME plus whatever else is listed here. So once you have that downloaded, then there is one additional thing you can do. Click on Support and Download Software. And this time we're going to choose Voice and Unified Communications. And then from here we'll choose IP Telephony and then Call Control. And then we'll look for the Cisco Unified Communications Manager Express. And then I usually go to the download individual files, and from here you can download the backgrounds or just the GUI files, whatever you need, or in this case CME full, everything. That includes the music on hold, ringtones, everything that you see here. And this we'll use later once we get to the install. But once you download those two, you should be ready to begin your configuration. Oh, speaking of configuration, that brings me to my next slide, 3 key commands. These 3 commands are what you're going to need before CME is going to be able to do anything. That's the maxDN, maxEphones, and IP source address. The maxDN is the maximum number of directory numbers or extensions that you want for your phones. This does affect the memory and the resources in RAM, so you want to, set that to a number that's going to be applicable to what you're actually going to use. Otherwise, you're just wasting resources. Then the maxEphones has the maximum number of phones that you're going to use on your network. And there's a couple of variables. The first one is your hardware platform, the number of phones that your hardware platform supports. And also this should be set to the value of number of feature licenses that you have purchased. So if you've purchased 24 feature licenses, then you would set the max ePhones to 24. And finally, we have IP source address. This is going to tell CME which interface to listen to for requests from the IP phones. And you can only use one source address. The only exception would be to use a loopback address. But in most cases, you're just going to assign it one IP address for the interface that the phones are going to send the request to. And then lastly, for the basic configuration, you need to set up the router as a TFTP server and load the configuration files for the IP phones that you're going to support. Okay, now that we have that covered, we'll go ahead and move forward into the configuration of the Call Manager Express and some of the IP phones. This is the topology we'll use. Obviously, we're not going to go over everything. I'm just going to show the basic configuration, and that will be of the CME itself and the IP phones. The only exception here is the remote user up here is actually going to be plugged into switch B, and that's on the machine I'm talking to you on right now, so we can try to get those to talk to the other phones as well.